Welcome everyone, I'm Stephanie Bueno, your local Emerald Coast real estate agent. And today we're going to be exploring the wonderful world of Gulf Breeze, Florida. So if you are preparing or considering moving to Gulf Breeze, you've definitely clicked on the right video because I'm going to go over the pros and cons of living here in Gulf Breeze and how I can help make your transition to Breeze. All right, so do you guys want the good news or the bad news first? Never mind, we'll just go over the pros first to talk about the good stuff first. So I always love to talk about the pristine beaches first. Now the beaches here in the area are to die for with its breathtaking views of the sunrises and the sunsets, which is just perfect for the atmosphere of relaxation and recreation. So whether you're looking to go out for a stroll or sit out and relax or play out in the water, the beaches out here is just going to be one of a kind because it's very beautiful. You always hear about the emerald green waters and the white sands. Well, everything that you've been hearing is true. And Gulf Breeze is located in between Pensacola Beach and Navarre Beach, so you have options, and you'll be just minutes away compared to hours and hours away to where you have to plan a vacation to come here to the area. And that's how a lot of people end up here because they have visited the area, whether it's for a vacation or visiting relatives, and they're able to experience temporarily how beautiful it is and how wonderful it is to stay here in the area, so they end up relocating here. I have met several people who have that exact same story, and you're probably one of them with the same. Maybe you've already experienced the area and you're ready to move, or maybe you just looked on a map and pointed to Gulf Breeze, and as long as you had access to the beach, it works for you. So whatever the case may be, living in Gulf Breeze is going to be amazing because of the close access that you have to get to the beaches without having to plan out a vacation to enjoy one. And number two are the great schools. So if you do have school-age children or even high school children, you're going to be in great hands here in Santa Rosa County, where the schools do provide excellent education for your children. Now, if you do have specific needs or specific wants for your children's education, make sure you go online and do the research and make the necessary phone calls to find out which schools offer what it is that you're needing or what you're looking for. I can help provide that information for you if you need it. But there are several schools in the area, so I'm sure you'll definitely find the right one that fits your needs. Pro number three of living in Gulf Breeze is being able to live in an outdoor paradise with beautiful parks, hiking trails, and of course the beaches, as I already mentioned. There's going to also be tons of water activities to enjoy. It's really just an outdoor enthusiast dream. Now, if you're not so much of an outdoorsy person, be prepared to become one because it's almost impossible not to enjoy all the outdoor activities that the area has to offer. Even in the fall and winter time, the weather is still great to where you won't have to stay cooped up inside with the heater blowing in your face. You'll still be able to enjoy the weather outside. Even if it's cold, it's not completely freezing or snowing or you get trapped inside because of a blizzard. Of course, we don't experience that here in Florida, but we do occasionally experience the sweater weather to where you can still go out and enjoy the fun festivals and activities during the fall and winter season. And even during that time, there are still people out on the beach. I mean, even if the temperature outside is 60 degrees, there are still people that love to enjoy the water even when it's that cold. I have seen it during Thanksgiving break when I was out showing condos on the beach, and I would just look and see people out there in the water. Now, you won't see me out there in that weather. It has to be at least 80, 90 degrees for me to comfortably enjoy the beach water. But if you're from up north and you're used to the cold temperatures, then I'm sure you'll have a blast in that freezing water. It just won't be me. And as far as the water activities, there are places where you can rent the equipment that you need. You don't necessarily have to go out and start buying your own jet skis or pontoons unless you want to and you have the space to store it. But there are lots of local businesses to where you can rent out this equipment so you can enjoy a lot of the water fun. You can go on dolphin cruises or sunset tours, go paddleboarding, kayaking, or even go on fishing charters. There are well-maintained hiking trails, so if you do like to go out for walks or runs, or just go out and push your babies in the strollers or take your dogs for walks, you're going to have several options to be able to do so. And the parks out in the Gulf Breeze area are beautiful and well-maintained as well. Whatever you like to do outside, you'll definitely be able to find a place where you can enjoy the outdoor weather in Gulf Breeze. Now, pro number 4 is living the coastal lifestyle without necessarily having to live in luxury if that's not within your budget. There are a lot of housing options for you to choose from within different price ranges, from condos to townhomes to small single family homes. And if you are looking for a large waterfront home, that will be available as well. and a majority of the area where you live, you're going to just feel that strong sense of community along with living that laid back coastal lifestyle. And with Gulf Breeze located just a few miles away from Pensacola, you'll be able to enjoy what Pensacola has to offer too. If you like this more of a city lifestyle as far as nightlife and bars, there's a lot of options downtown Pensacola. Just cross over the bridge and you're right there. You'll be able to enjoy lots of festivals that go on year round. There's the Pensacola Bay Center for large events. If you enjoy baseball, Pensacola does have its own baseball team, and there's also hockey as well. I'm not a big hockey fan, but I have gone to a hockey game before. It was tons of fun. Just the experience is so much fun. So I'm sure it's just an added bonus if you actually enjoy hockey. And then while you're done having all that fun, just head back into Gulf Breeze. It's not that far away. So just the location of Gulf Breeze itself is very convenient because, again, you are located just outside of Pensacola, where there's a lot of activities and you're close to the beaches, and there's tons of housing opportunity as well. So now let's go into the cons of living in Gulf Breeze. Number one, there's the hurricane risk. Now, being in a coastal region, Gulf Breeze faces occasional hurricane threats, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Gulf Breeze is going to get pounded by a hurricane year after year during hurricane season. Hurricane season runs from June through November. So when there is a storm out there brewing in the Gulf or in the Atlantic that can still cross over to Gulf Breeze area, you'll see on the Weather Channel that a lot of times that we will be in the projected path of a hurricane. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to take the direct hit here in Gulf Breeze. But again, since Gulf Breeze does face the threats, it's always best to be prepared to either hunker down and ride out the storm from home, or you can be prepared to evacuate. So when you are purchasing a home and you get your homeowner's insurance, just make sure you understand pretty much what you're paying for, what it covers as far as damages from hurricanes, or if you're in a flood zone, what your flood insurance will cover, or even if the home is not in a flood zone, it's always still a great idea to purchase flood insurance anyway, because it's better safe than sorry. And just create maybe a tote of all the supplies that you would need to be prepared for the storm, so you're not running out to the store and trying to purchase everything last minute once we do have word that we do potentially have the storm come in this way. Lots of people tend to cause panic and freak out at the stores and at the gas pumps. So just have all the necessary items in advance so you don't have to deal with all that chaos. So you can stock up on your non-perishables, your first aid items, and also make sure that your pets have what they need as well. If you're evacuating, of course, you want to make sure that you try at least start off with a full tank of gas. And if you're evacuating, you just want to make sure that you have your route planned out. You know where you're going, where the evacuation routes are. You have your accommodation set up, unless you're staying with friends or family out of the area. Make sure that you have access to all the updates that are going to be provided regarding the storm, and maybe even have local insight. If you have a neighbor or someone that's staying home, they can give you updates on your neighborhood or your home, or just monitor the local weather stations just so you know when it's safe to return home. So a lot of people that are concerned with the hurricane, of course, it's going to be a large concern, but again, just as long as you know how to prepare for it, whether you're staying home or evacuating, and just know how to keep yourself and your family safe and your pets as well, and how to prep your home to prevent extensive damage from the storms, you'll be okay. Again, as long as nobody gets hurt. Your home is all materialistic things. That's what homeowners insurance is for. The most important thing is your safety. So con number 2 is the cost of living. While the cost of living in Gulf Breeze isn't extreme, it still can be slightly higher than the national average. Just make sure you check out our separate video that covers the cost of living in Gulf Breeze, so you can compare it to where you currently live or where you're coming from, just to see if you will still be able to live a comfortable lifestyle. Tons of people that are moving from states like New York or California say how cheap it is to live out here in Florida, while others are coming from smaller communities that have to make that adjustment because the cost of living is slightly higher than what they're used to. So if you are relying on new employment out here, where your salary may be a little different, you just still, again, do the research to make sure that you still have a comfortable living. But even if you're not going to be coming out of pocket as much, it's still good to save and maybe even invest. But I can't tell you what to do with your money. I can only make recommendations. But yes, the cost of living would include items like housing, there's groceries, transportation, healthcare. So just make sure you do all the research to make sure that what your budget is still meets a comfortable living in Gulf Breeze. Con number 3 is the seasonal tourist in Gulf Breeze. The summers can bring additional crowds, but you can't blame them because they want to enjoy the same beautiful beach that you're enjoying. There may be people that's not staying directly in Gulf Breeze, but of course they're going to end up driving through Gulf Breeze to get to Navarre or Pensacola. We also need to keep in mind that even during the off season, it still can be pretty crowded too, because there are still people that purposely visit during the off season to avoid the summer crowds. But there's also school that's in session, and in Gulf Breeze, you have all three schools located across from one another. There's the elementary, middle, and high school in Gulf Breeze, all located in close proximity to each other. So when school is in session and everyone's trying to get to school or get their kids to school and still get to work on time, you're going to run into that crowd. So we can pretty much say it's going to be year round, but it is just a lot worse during the summer because of all the additional bodies that are flocking to the area. Which leads me to con number 4. With more tourists, it's going to lead to additional traffic. So there is that one major road that cuts through Gulf Breeze. So everyone's trying to access the same road to get to where they need to go. So patience is going to be key. So hopefully you'll be able to pack some extra patience in your back pocket or in your purse, because you may need it from time to time. Now, if you work in the Gulf Breeze area or outside the Gulf Breeze area, of course, during the summertime, you may want to plan accordingly to get around the tourist crowds and still get to work on time. Or if there are large events going on, then still, again, make sure you plan accordingly because the additional traffic with people trying to get to those events may cause a bit of a delay. And there's those dreaded accidents that happen on the road. So you can make sure you utilize the traffic apps or social media groups or even GPS that will let you know when there's going to be a delay on your route. So if you know of the delays in advance, you'll still be able to plan ahead and get to where you need to be on time. And with the additional tourists and the traffic, there's going to be additional wait times at restaurants, maybe longer lines at the retail stores. So again, just be patient, because people are just trying to enjoy the same things that you are trying to enjoy as far as shopping and dining and entertainment. Now, if you're coming from a smaller town that maybe has one restaurant and maybe one little small convenience store, and shopping or dining out might be a little overwhelming for you until you get used to it. Or if you're used to living in larger cities, then it's just really going to feel like nothing when you live in a Gulf Breeze. So now let's talk about how I can help make your move here stress-free. Well, there's my local expertise. I have in-depth knowledge of Gulf Breeze's real estate markets and neighborhoods, so I'll be able to guide you, give you the information that you need regarding the market, but if it's the right time for you to buy, and if you're getting a great deal. Of course, that's why I'm here too, to be able to help you negotiate and get you the best deal, which is part of the personalized guidance that we provide. We work closely with you to find you the right home that fits your needs and budget. We like to have this conversation at the very beginning of the process. That way there are no surprises, and we know exactly what you want and need, and you know what you are going to need to be prepared for and what to expect throughout the process. And there's also our relocation services. We can connect you with trusted movers and schools and other local services that you may need, such as lawn care, pool cleaners, electricians, plumbers, whoever you're going to need in your back pocket to help maintain your home. We have the connections for you. And again, we help you with smooth transactions. We'll handle the paperwork to ensure a hassle-free closing process. From contract to closing, we will be by your side through every step of the way. From writing your offer to getting your offer accepted, scheduling the home inspections, negotiating repairs, getting through the final walkthrough, and getting you to the closing table and you getting those keys. We definitely have your back from start to finish. And last but not least, there's the after-sale support. Our assistance doesn't end at closing. We're always going to be here for you, and just a phone call, text, or email away. So if you have any questions or there's anything else that you need after closing, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We don't like to cut you off as soon as you move into your home. We want to make sure that you still enjoy your experience as being a new resident in the area. Or if you just miss us and want to give us a call, feel free to do that too. But more than likely, we have already reached out to you to see how you're doing and how you're enjoying your new home. So whether you're drawn to the pros or mindful of the cons, we're here to make your Gulf Breeze transition a smooth and enjoyable experience. So if you're ready to start the process, give us a call, text, or email to get started, and let's embark on this exciting journey together. Talk to you guys soon.